Hey Taurus, Dark Dove Tarot here. Hope you're doing fantastic. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for reconciliation for March 2019. If you watch my channel, you'll know that last month I split them up, reconciliation and singles separately. So again, this is your reconciliation March 2019 video. Now I am recording this the last day of February. However, I will not get these out until Sunday or Monday. So again, 2 or 3 days late. I apologize for that, but I am heading out of town, and therefore unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get these up before then. So, all right, Taurus, reconciliation. Let's see what's going on. Again, please keep in mind, this is a general read. So you need to check your other signs, as some months those may resonate with you more than others. So again, general read. Hopefully resonates with majority of you, but check your other signs. You can get clarity sometimes by checking those as well. All right, one more card, and then we'll get your theme of the month, and then we'll get started. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description. And I do like to repeat that because I get emails daily asking about private reads, and I promise it is down there, and if it's not, it's in the video next to it. So again, if you check below, you will see that information. And I am getting private reads out, but I'm trying to get the monthlies finished. So just bear with me. Please be patient on those. All right, let's pull your theme of the month, and then we'll get started. For Taurus, reconciliation, March 2019. What is going on with Taurus? One more shuffle, and we'll pull your theme of the month and get started here. All right, Taurus. Ooh, okay. 2 of Pentacles, balance, change, priorities. Trying to figure, and it's interesting because the 2 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. So 2s might be something significant for you. 2 weeks, 2 months, the 2nd, the 22nd, etc. But the 2 of Pentacles is about balance. It's about change. It's about priorities. So for me, it seems like a lot of you had to get some sort of balance in order to consider reconciling with this person. Or maybe you're just super balanced right now, or that's your main priority, is getting balanced yourself and maybe not really worried about what this other person is doing. It's not that you're not worried. It's like you need to focus on yourself, because whenever I see the 2 of Pentacles, it's definitely like a self-care, self-maintaining, self-maintenance type card, that you need to get your priorities in check, that you're making changes internally in order for you to get put your best foot forward. Maybe you guys needed to break up so that you could, or that they could, make changes, that you both could kind of prioritize. It feels like some of you were so sucked into this like relationship, and it was almost like this black hole. It would just continuously suck energy until, I mean, you could have shriveled up and it would still be sucking out energy. So I feel like you needed to step back, get away. Maybe they were a very toxic person and you needed to step off in order to, whoa, what am I doing here? What's going on in my life? This isn't me. How long can this continue? The next card you have is your current position coming into the month. That's interesting. You have the 2 of Cups, which you can call it the Twin Flame card, the Karmic Connection, the Soulmate card, whatever. You don't need to correct me in the bottom. Everybody sees it the way they see it, so I just call it all of those. Twin Flame card is an attraction. It's an intimacy. It's a connection on a much deeper level. So this person that you're thinking about the reconciliation, or that you're wondering about, or that you've been thinking about, that you're connected to, is considered a Twin Flame person. It is considered a very deep connection. However, sometimes those can be toxic. Not to be negative on this card, because I love this card for you. It definitely means possibility of reconciliation, regardless of all of this, is always possible. However, sometimes these types of relationships aren't meant to continue this lifetime, or aren't meant to, continue right now. You still have lessons you need to learn from this person. The disconnect is not completely there. Even if they ghosted you, even if you ghosted them, whatever it is, there's still a great amount of love here. You guys are still very much connected, very much in love, but sometimes that can be suffocating. Sometimes it's such a codependent relationship that you're just sucking life out of each other. The next card you have, or you've forgotten that this is the energy you have. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month, and you have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is very interesting here, because this is a wishful thinking card. This is a temptation card. So did you meet somebody and thought that maybe they would be the one for you, and it ended this karmic connection, or did they meet somebody else and have an affair? And even though you guys are, you know, very much connected, something like is on your mind. Maybe you guys are, you know, maybe you separated because you need to go out and meet other people. Maybe you need to rekindle the love that you have for each other by realizing, and I know you're not going to like that, but by realizing, like, sometimes you have to go out and meet other people to discover what it is you've lost. And maybe not even meet other people. It may just be that you're thinking like, well, you know, you went out and did your thing, so now it's my time. Because again, this is about having options. It's about having choices. This also tells me some of you have been holding on to this connection for a long, long time, and you've kind of drowned in it, and you've gone through the despair and the breakup and all of this. But maybe now this month you're coming in going, you know what? There are other people out there who'd like me. There are other people I can't, yes, we're connected. Yes, we have this giant connection. But guess what, Taurus? Like, you know, sometimes you have to put a timestamp on it. And then if it's meant to be and you let it go, it'll come back. Because some of you have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this to rekindle, and it's not happening. And so now you're kind of going, well, you know what? I can go out and meet other people then. Or, you know, I'm making changes and balancing out my life. Maybe it's time to see what else is out there. Because some of you, I feel like, have felt stuck for a long time. And now you're like, well, if we're not going to connect at this point, then there's no harm in me meeting other people. Okay, the next card you have is your distant past. Over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood. You have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is pragmatic, responsible, but still aspiring to do things. So this tells me a lot of you may have put your dreams and hopes on hold for somebody else. Doesn't have to necessarily be this person, but the universe is saying through this month from your distant past is like, you have worked really hard and always been responsible in certain areas. We all go through times where, you know, maybe we fluffed off or whatever, but the Page of Pentacles is saying, look, you used to aspire to do X, Y, and Z, and somehow you lost yourself in that. Maybe you liked art, maybe you like singing, maybe you like music, whatever it is. It's almost like you're kind of going, but those should have been part of my priority. Those should have been a part of what I wanted in life. And whether it's this person you're with or another relationship in the past, you've allowed yourself to get lost in the shuffle and the dreams you had. You've been responsible. You've taken care of the kids. You went to college. You did whatever it was that you needed to do in your life. You know, worked really hard to get where you are, whatever it is, again. But then maybe you forgot about the things that you really like to do. Maybe you forgot about the simple things that really made you happy. The next card you have is your immediate past over the past 2 weeks. So, okay, this makes sense. I was wondering why all of this was going on. The Ace of Pentacles is opportunities. It's a plethora. It's new beginnings. So Taurus, something's definitely going on here. Either you've decided, hey, I love you very much, and we are this type of twin flame connection, but you screwed me. You hurt me. Now's not our time. Or again, it may be that they're not connecting with you, and you're just kind of like, okay, well, you know, I'm good now. Like, there's new opportunities out here for me. I'm going to go seek them until you figure out whatever you want. And if I'm still available, I'm still available. And if I'm not, guess what? I'm not. I mean, again, like I said, a lot of people, the soulmate connection, or however you want to say it, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen right now. It doesn't mean because you have that connection that there's not going to be a break at some point. A lot of people don't even end up with that person, you know, for years and years, 20, 40, 60 years, because sometimes it's a lesson you need to learn later, or a lesson you need to learn in another lifetime. So the Ace of Pentacles definitely says to me, Taurus, there's a possibility for a new beginning here. Now, could be a new beginning with this person. However, having this card here with the options and then this one with the opportunity, it feels like other opportunity, not this person. Again, it could be a new beginning for some of you, but for a lot of you, I feel like because this person has cut you off, or you've cut them off, because there was lies or cheating or whatever it was, you almost feel like a new beginning is the only way to get over this right now. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks, next month or two, you have the Four of Pentacles. So that's interesting as well. This is almost like an energy where you're like, I'm getting out there, I'm going to meet people, but I'm going to hold my heart at bay. Because the Four of Pentacles is a frugality. It's miserly. It's feeling like you have to hold on to something. So it's interesting. I feel like as much as you want to let this go, and as much as you know you need to, and as much as you know it's maybe, you know, broken both of you to a certain extent and really affected your life. I mean, and that brokenness of like when you can't breathe, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you feel just this unbelievable, overwhelming, powerless feeling. That's still there. As much as, I don't want to say you're kidding yourself, because that's not it at all, but as much as you're putting on the smile on your face, you're still deeply rooted to this person and still truly have feelings. So you're not going to go out there. So for cross watchers, I don't believe that Taurus is going out there to find this. I feel like Taurus is going out there because they deserve somebody nice to spend time with, because they deserve somebody, they deserve new opportunities on the horizon. The Four of Pentacles says, though, you're not going to open up this connection with anybody else, at least not right now. That's not your intention. Your intention is to go out and meet other people because, well, fuck. I mean, you're not going to sit around and wait for this if they can't get off, you know, their high horse. The next card you have is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a childlike innocence. This is throughout the month of March. The Page of Cups is seeing things like with new eyes. I always say like child's eyes, because this is very much a childlike emotional being. So I feel like you are maybe getting out there and meeting new people, even if it's just meeting new friends. Even if you go to like a grievance group for breakup or something, you're going to meet people who see things the same way you do, who've been through what you've been through. And then it's kind of like an awakening, like almost like a, I can do this. Now, again, the Page of Cups is also like a meditation. It's looking back. It's understanding the good things and then where things went wrong. But more so for me, this means that this month, you're going to be looking at things differently. You're going to be looking at things, understanding yourself, your self-worth, your value, understanding what it is you deserve, but also what it is you're longing for and what you're wanting in life. And could you ever get back on that page with this person? But I don't think you're going to be dwelling on it. I think you're going to be going out and painting or doing the things I talked about, the things that maybe got lost in the shuffle, that you spent your time taking care of kids, which is, that's our responsibility as parents. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But the things that you stopped doing, the things that you stopped enjoying, will continue. You will maybe revisit those again this month. The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to happen throughout the month. And you have the Emperor. The Emperor is Aries card, so you could be dealing with an Aries. But this tells me this is very traditional, very authoritative. So I almost feel like you're going to go out and meet somebody. Again, I know I've talked about that, but this is somebody you're going to meet. Now, I don't necessarily know that this is going to be a person that you're going to love or anything like this. I feel like this is a different type of energy. Like you're consoling in a parental figure, a mother or father, or a grandfather or grandmother. It may even be somebody older. For some reason, I'm getting this older energy. So maybe you go on a date, or maybe you go to a meetup group or something, and you start talking to this person. I don't feel like this is developing into something new. I feel like this is more of like a corresponding, a friendship. Somebody who has been there, done that, who you're going to be able to like soundboard off of, like bounce things off of. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. It could be the beginning, middle, end. Could last the whole month, last for an hour. You have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is patience. It's listening. It's calm. So this tells me, I feel like some of you will, if you're not in communication with your ex, you will be at some point. But that may also mean that there's some sort of counseling you guys have to go to, or not have to, but you decide to go to. But what's interesting here is these tie in. The King of Cups, again, is very patient, a good listener. So I feel like you will be talking to people, meeting people who've been in similar situations. They will be talking to you. I mean, it could even be like on my channel, where you're like sounding off on people. It feel like you're in a situation where you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people who have been through similar situations and saying, you know, how did you get through it? Or what happened? Or what was the time frame? Or did you feel like this? Or did you feel like that? I just feel like, Taurus, you're in a very good position where you're realizing you're not alone in all of this, that there's other people who are going through this. And as hard as it is, you're ready to either move on or grieve and still connect with this person and understand that, you know, it may take a while to cut the cord. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome. Now, your fear for the outcome is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is she wants the truth, she wants honesty, she wants answers. And I feel like some of you are kind of like that. You're like, well, what the fuck happened? Where did we go wrong? You know, and I don't feel like you've gotten all the answers. And some of you maybe were ghosted and this person moved on and you're like, screw you. Like, what happened here? Like, how did this happen? It's like you feel like you just have a lot of unanswered questions and you feel like if fairness wasn't done, like you were treated unfairly and you were disrespected. And again, this is hopes and fears. And for me, it's a fear that maybe you'll never get to say what you want to say, or a fear like you don't get the answers you're really wanting because some of you don't have clarity on it. And that's why you're going, you know what, screw you. I'll go find something else to do because you're not talking to me. You've moved on, or you've chosen to ghost me, or whatever it is, which is interesting because I almost feel like they're the ones who were in the wrong and you got tired of it and stopped putting up the bullshit and cut them off, and now they're being like babies about it. The next card you have is your outcome for the month, and you have the Four of Swords. All right, so this makes sense. This is you resting, recuperation. The Four of Swords is about exhaustion. It's about going through something and needing to just take a break. And I feel like that's where you are at. I feel like you guys were somewhat codependent, or maybe you just got tired of their bullshit. You put up with over and over, because I just keep seeing this cycle in my head of like repeated cycles. Like, oh, I'll never do that to you again, or I promise I'll change, or I promise things will be different. And it was the same thing over and over, and you had to cut it out. But now you're recuperating, because when you have a loss like this that a lot of us have been through, it's exhausting. It takes up all your energy. It can consume your life. And at some point you have to take a break and say, I can't do it anymore. For my sanity, for my health, for my well-being, for my kids, for my family, whatever it is, you know, I got to just take a break. Here you go with that Seven of Cups though. I just find it interesting. For some reason, it's like temptation to get out there and enjoy yourself. I feel like some of you maybe were cheated on or abandoned, and you're just like, you know what, and you find out that they're talking to somebody else. It's really strange that the Seven of Cups is coming up here twice, because again, this is options, it's choices, it's wishful thinking, it's temptation. So I don't know, get out there, have fun, go, like, you know, maybe this person that you were connected with did their thing and had their choices and temptation. And I feel like, I worry though, Taurus, because I almost feel like it would be a revenge energy. Like, you did it, so I can do it. But at the same token, I kind of feel like, you know, maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to get out there, have fun, you know. I mean, there's something definitely urging an option situation here that, you know, maybe this is universe's way of saying, you know, you always thought this was the only person that was ever for you, that there would never be anybody out there for you. And maybe this is universe's way of saying there are other people out there. Now, are you ready to let go of this connection? I don't necessarily believe so, because then you have the Six of Cups here crowning the Four of Pentacles. And I feel like what's going to keep you from giving this type of love to somebody else, because a lot of people believe there's only one connection. I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like you can have different karmic connections on different levels with different people. But it's interesting here because you have the Four, which is frugality, not giving your love to somebody else necessarily right now. And the Six of Cups goes along with that to a certain extent, because the Six of Cups is in nostalgia energy. It's looking back. It's very interesting. These are both meditative cards. So it's about looking back on things. And I feel like one of the reasons, yes, you might get out there and you might mingle. You're single, you guys aren't together, you're not cheating, you're not doing anything. So go have at it. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just go enjoy yourself for a little bit. But the Six of Cups says you'll come back around to a certain extent. And it may be because they contact you and you're brought back around to the memories. And maybe you're trying to release those memories and that connection, and then something pops up. Because the Six of Cups, again, is a nostalgia that doesn't necessarily let you move on. But I think what will help you get to the point where you can be patient, if you guys still have lessons to learn and you're not ready to move on and they're not ready to move on, get out and have some fun. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. You're not doing anything wrong in enjoying yourself and meeting new people. If this person doesn't want you at this point right now, then, you know, somebody else will, and enjoy that. It doesn't have to be an end all be all. It just means you're not sitting around and waiting for somebody who can't figure out what the hell they're doing. All right, Taurus, have a good month.